Welcome back. Today, we are going to do some inside chores here, and we might actually make it, if the weather holds, we might make it back outside and do a little bit of siding. But the first thing that I'm going to do is we're going to do some break-in fires on this new wood stove. Now, I'm going to butcher the name. I've been told it's Jotul or Jotul, but I'm not sure how to properly pronounce it. I know that we bought it several years ago and just got it picked up from the store a couple months ago. And we finally got everything installed, and it requires a few break-in fires. You're supposed to take it up to 200 degrees, bring it back down to room temperature, take it up to 400 degrees, bring it down to room temperature, and take it up to 600 degrees and bring it down to room temperature. And what that's supposed to do is protect the cast iron on the sides and the front from thermal shock. That way you don't end up with warped cast iron or a cracked piece of cast iron. The firebox itself is steel, but it has cast iron attached to it to help hold and radiate the heat better. I was hoping it was going to be about 45 degrees today, but you don't always get what you want. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and spark up a small fire in here, see if I can get the temperature up to 200 degrees, and then bring it back down. Now I am breaking with the instructions just a little bit because the instructions say to use newspaper and kindling, and I am just going to use a can of MAP gas. That should get the wood started, get the kindling started, and then we'll build from there. Hopefully the gases and exhaust will flow up and not out into the room. It is a little warm right now, so we'll see what happens. Yep.
Is that magnetic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. If you get up around 1,000 degrees, it'll fall off. Shouldn't get to 1,000 degrees.
I hope not.
All right, so when you start it, you need to, you've got this air entry right here. This controls the air that comes in from the bottom. So underneath of this tray, there's an air inlet, and that's your, this is basically when you're starting the fire, this is your ignition air.
Okay.
And it's also having air going through it all the time, but if like your fire's getting too hot or it's burning too fast, you're gonna take it all the way down here, and that's gonna choke it out and cut it off. But when you're getting the fire going, when you're trying to get it rolling, you wanna keep it open. When the fire gets hot enough, there are inlets at the bottom and the back. That air comes up across the back of the firebox, gets heated up, comes out of the stainless steel tubes that are inside of here, and that fresh oxygen mixed in with the smoke gives you a secondary burn that burns off the smoke and helps make it, that's what makes it EPA certified. So it puts out very little pollution, very little. You're not going to get a whole lot of particulates going up because it burns it off as fuel with that secondary burn. So you'll see, you can look right here and see it. You'll see that glowing with fire. You'll see fire basically coming out almost like it was a gas element.
Okay.
And so once it gets hot enough, the chimney is going to heat up enough that it pulls air. When that gets hot enough, then you'll be able to open that baffle, and you put your wood in from the top once it gets going. That way you don't have to bend down. So you start it from there. You can still, if you want to, if you had a really big piece you wanted to load it up for the evening, you can still stick that in there and get it going. But when you're ready to go, you know, just like put a stick or two in, use this little thing, lift it up.
So is that hot? Is that panel actually hot?
Shouldn't be that hot now. That's starting to get warm.
Okay.
Right? So, and then you would turn that baffle right there, and that would open it up, and that's when you would be exposed to the fire, and you put the log down in there. Obviously, you can't do it with the grill. But right now, it's up at about 100 degrees, so it's got to go up to 200 before we choke it out. I just don't want to put too much fuel in there and have it get going too high and then overshoot that 200 by too much.
So then you stop it completely and then start over again?
You take it all the way back down to room temperature.
Okay.
So we probably won't, we might get 2 of them today. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, next weekend's supposed to be colder.
But it's kind of nice.
It is.
I don't mind actually sitting in here a little later in the evening working on getting the second fire going. So it would be great if we had a door. we still don't have a door, but that's coming. It's paid for. It's on the way. It'll be here eventually. Those are some dark, stormy clouds rolling across. Now, forecast for yesterday was no rain. It rained like crazy. Rained yesterday, rained a lot last night, and it was supposed to rain all day today, but it looks like it's not. There were a lot of little things I was going to do inside, but I might see if we can't put some more siding up. Well, the rain chased us back inside. We were gonna try and finish up that last piece of siding. No dice, it looks like, for today. The stove came back down to room temperature, so we went ahead and sparked it up again. We've got it at 300 degrees, burning for the second burn-in fire. It's putting out a little bit of heat. It's not bad, considering it's about 60 degrees and raining today. So I don't want to overheat the place, but with no front door and still missing a window in the back of the house on a windy day, it pulls the heat out of here pretty quick. Gotta say, we're pretty happy with the way it all turned out. It looks really good. Can't wait to have this place dried in. Of course, springtime's right here, so I probably will only get a couple of small fires out of it before it's time for me to start working on getting an air conditioning system up in here. Well, we did a few things in the house to finish up. Got the second of the 3 burn-in fires completed. And we think we are going to be able to get this panel that kind of fits around everything there up and nailed into the wall, and that'll get us past all the windows on the back wall, and all we'll have left to do is the door, well, that window, but under the porch. Never as much as we want to get done, but the rain chased us in. There wasn't much else we could do. All right, that may not have been particularly elegant. However, we now have siding that goes across the back wall all the way to the deck, which means when I come up here tomorrow after I spray in the orchard, I can come out here and I should be able to caulk it and paint it because the weather's supposed to be pretty good. That'll be a pretty big plus for us. I will take it as a win. I'll take any win I can get. So I'm gonna come inside and shut down the stove, and you'll notice we now have a functioning door handle. The fire is down to a glow, which is fine because I wanted it to burn up as much of the material that was in there as possible. This was only a 300-degree fire. It ran for an hour and I just let it keep going because I wanted to burn up as much material as I could. We're gonna put away all of our tools. I'm gonna shut the baffles down on this and choke it out. Well, you can hear the roar of the wind. That is definitely all we've got for today and for this weekend. We appreciate y'all coming by and watching. Come on back and check us out again. There's a whole lot of siding that's got to go onto this house. You know what we'll be doing for a while. See you then. Well, good morning. Actually, it's afternoon. We shall start a game. Let me get this ridiculous stuff off of here.